I've been having a great time in Bogota. I'm really happy that I came here. Well, certainly it seems to me like this is a very visual place. Everywhere I look, there's a painting on the wall or a drawing. And the interesting thing about so many of them is they seem to be narrative. They're about telling stories. In a place like this that has been here for a long time and so much has happened, this is a place of stories. In some places it might be all about music, or other places it might all be about film or whatever. But this seems to be a place where there's a great deal of visual art. As a cartoonist, it's always a great experience to go and meet people in a country where you don't usually interact. Your books aren't always translated there. You don't think about people reading them here. And then to encounter a whole new group of people that are reading your work, it's always an interesting experience because you wonder what different perspective they have on it. The important thing of this festival and most comic festivals for me is the idea that it is where artists meet each other, and especially the young ones, because when you're starting out, it is very powerful to meet other people doing the same thing you're doing and to talk about it. And these festivals provide a space where they can meet. The other side, of course, is for the public, and it's always great for the public to be introduced to comics. But as an artist, I always think of it in terms of what is it like for the artists. And for me, that's what's great about it. The chance for them to meet each other and talk. In many ways, everywhere you go throughout the world and you meet the other cartoonists and the zine culture, you see that they actually have a tremendous amount in common. Even though culturally people might be quite different, you could be talking to someone making a mini comic in Sweden and a person making a mini comic in Bogota. You would expect that to be wildly different, but it's not always, because the commonality is having read comics, having been interested in the language, and there's a much more common language between everyone now because of the internet, where I feel like people are really cross-pollinating a lot more. So a lot of the times it's simply the excitement of seeing people experimenting. The simplest advice is that you just have to do the work and not worry too much. When you're young, you worry, is it any good? What do I draw like? I can't draw very well, or it's not very good. Not everybody is a genius at the age of 20. Some people, you take many years till you get to the point where you feel comfortable. I've known artists who were 19 years old and were doing the best work of their life, and I know people who were 30 and they were just starting to do their best work. So you just got to keep doing the work and keep working, and you will find your own place. Like any art form, that you would look back and say, in that 100 years, here are the great artists who produce great work. But the form itself, I would like to stay somewhat the same as it is, because I think the comics are a beautiful language. It's kind of like a novel. You can read a novel from 1890. It's not wildly different from now, just in the language, just in the situations, the stories. But comics may change tremendously. We don't know. We're in the middle of a very complicated time right now because the computer has changed everything. And how people draw comics, how they read them, will they continue to be comics? Or will they start being animation? Will they be all about movement? Will AI be used to draw them instead of people drawing them? The funny thing is, I think it'd be pretty safe to say that any guess I made about what the comics will be like will be wrong.